And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. And if you'd like additional weather information, you can go online to weather.gov. That is the National Weather Service's online presence. It'll bring you to a map of the continental U.S. with Hawaii and Alaska to the lower left and little tabs here for the territories. And a quick check of the weather map across the continental U.S. On this Tuesday afternoon. Of note, we have numerous heat advisories and excessive heat warnings from areas of the mid-Atlantic down into the southern portion of the U.S. We have had severe thunderstorm watches with severe storms, even a few tornado warnings across areas of New England and New York State. Same system produced strong winds upwards of 75 miles an hour near O'Hare Field yesterday evening, along with a few embedded tornadoes in the Chicago, northern Illinois area. Further west, we have excessive heat warnings in effect for Washington and Oregon. We still have a ridge of high pressure. Why is that important to Alaska? Because this ridge was very well built up with the record heat that occurred in parts of Nevada, Southern California. That ridge has changed a little bit in its location. That's going to have significant implications for the weekend forecast for areas of the state. But we are anticipating another round of moderate to heavy rainfall across the panhandle later tonight through Wednesday into late Wednesday night. There is a flood watch in effect around the Juneau area, as well as advisories on some of the streams, lakes. Another 2 to 4 inches of rain could fall on top of the 3 to 6 inches of rain that fell in those areas since this weekend and Monday. Now, a different thing is going to involve, we're going to have a pattern flip with warmer and drier weather developing across the mainland this weekend, continuing into early next week. Definitely want to get out and enjoy it, because that may be the last of the really warm, dry summer weather. I'll show you the extended temperature outlooks and what would suggest that. And then final note, I just want to pass along the noctilucent cloud season is currently the time of year to look up through early August. I'll explain more what noctilucent or night shining clouds are. Quick check of some of the FAA webcams this Tuesday afternoon. Mostly cloudy, some breaks opening up there in Nome, 54. Few lingering showers beneath weak low pressure in the west side of the state. Now looking toward Denali, McKinley South camera shows scattered showers, 56 degrees, but the big mountain may be visible here this weekend as skies are going to tend to want to clear out. And with the sunshine, warmer temperatures returning to the interior. Soldotna, still some lingering showers this Tuesday afternoon, 54 degrees. We have river levels really come up there on the Kenai from the recent heavier rainfall, so it makes for very swift conditions. If you're planning to do any dip netting or fishing, wading is very difficult, if not a safe bet, so just be very careful. And Juneau, more heavy rain is on the way later tonight and into especially tomorrow, Wednesday. You can see just a temporary lull with temperatures around 60 there this afternoon. But of note, this is what we got going on. We have special weather statement here, mid-upper portion of the panhandle for moderate to heavy rain coming in late tonight, continues through late Wednesday night before tapering off to scattered showers on Thursday and Friday. We have a flood watch for the area around Juneau, the intercoastal mountains, because of another 2 to 4 inches of rain is expected to impact this area. On top of that, we have flood advisories that have been issued for Mendenhall Lake and River, as well as Jordan and Montana Creeks around Juneau, in anticipation of that 2 to 4 inches of snow, or 2 to 4 inches of rain that will likely cause at the very least, some minor flooding on the creeks and rivers there around Juneau. We also have a flood advisory that remains in effect through Friday afternoon on the Chilkat River near Kluon, as well as the Chilkat River Bridge, where we anticipate some minor flooding down there near the river. Now, rainfall amounts. This is the rain coming in tomorrow. You can see heavy rains, especially the intercoastal mountains, the inner channels for Wednesday during the day. That's from early Wednesday morning through early Thursday morning. Another 2 to 4 inches of rain could fall in some of these areas. We still have some rain lingering on the south side of the Alaska range, but nothing heavy like that. And then as we get into Thursday, conditions will improve. There's another little system that'll fling some more rain, areas of lighter rain and rain showers across the Panhandle later Thursday and again for Friday. And then we have still some lingering showers, Copper River Basin, south of the Alaska range down to northern Cook Inlet and around the Kenai. So again, the heaviest rains are going to be in the central northern Panhandle tomorrow into tomorrow evening. We still have some fire danger, though all of the cool weather and rain we've seen here the past couple of weeks has really knocked it down, with the exception of a couple of pockets in the southeast interior and then up around the Yukon Flats. We still have an isolated pocket of very high fire danger, and I would anticipate by the time we get into the later weekend, we're going to see the fire danger creeping back up as things dry out. There's going to be a big ridge of high pressure in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere redevelop over the central interior, so that's going to bring the sun back and much warmer temperatures. And then here's a quick one to talk about. The noctilucent cloud season is underway. It goes until about early August. And it's limited viewing in Alaska. This is not something you can just go out and see. They have to kind of be perfect conditions. These noctilucent clouds are the Earth's highest clouds. They form 50 miles above the surface near the edge of space, and they're the result or composed of meteor dust with traces of water vapor, and that water vapor gets introduced into these high levels of the atmosphere by volcanic eruptions and the launching of space rockets. And we've noticed in the past decade or so an increase in the visibility of these clouds, probably as a result of the increase in rocket launching activity. I took this picture last summer around July 22nd or 60th. I'm trying to remember the specific date. Oh, I have it right up there, the 19th, 20th. Flying over the southeast Panhandle around local midnight and looking north toward Canada. And you can see these electric blue, beautiful clouds. It's quite a sight to see. You can see them from Anchorage on, if you go to the north end of town on the inlet there, overlooking when skies are clear. These are visible about an hour and a half or so after sunset and an hour and a half before sunrise, because you need the sun below the horizon to illuminate those high clouds. That's why they're called night shining. Looking at the satellite imagery, here comes the next blast of rain and moisture that's going to hit the Panhandle later tonight and Wednesday. Back to the west, we have lingering weak low pressure here in the west side of the state. Also a little system along and south of the central eastern Aleutians. This won't be a major player. We still have some lingering low pressure south of the Kenai. This will keep some showers going in this area here into the day tomorrow. But here comes a very moist, mild push of air, higher freezing levels aloft, above 10,000 feet. So this is going to be a very wet system moving into the Panhandle. And by the time we get into late tonight, early on Wednesday morning, that initial impulse will be pulling in up along the southwestern coastline there of the Panhandle. The other low stays south of the eastern Aleutians, and weakening low over the Kenai region, upper Cook Inlet. And for tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon, we have that initial surge of moisture already pushing its way across the central northern Panhandle, weakening low pressure again back toward Cook Inlet, and then the other low that just kind of stays south for a while. By the time we get into Thursday, another little, this one not as intense, not as much moisture, but that's going to just pull some more showers and areas of rain across the Panhandle later Thursday and lingering into the day Friday. Meanwhile, this is the surface reflection of the mid and upper level ridge that's going to be forming over the interior, and it's going to help dry out the mainland this weekend. So you're just going to have to wait a little longer. Right now it's looking like excellent weekend for much of the mainland, south central, central, east central. Should see a lot of sunshine, much warmer temperatures. We should get readings back up in some areas above 70, and I would imagine by Sunday, and especially early next week, we could see some 80-plus degree readings in the normal hot spots like Fort Yukon and Tanana, places like that when you do have this kind of setup. Meantime, though, 50s for lows in the Panhandle tonight, early Wednesday morning. Lower 50s, some upper 40s, mid-upper 40s there in the Copper River Basin. Still lingering cloud cover, a few light showers. Temperatures struggling to get much above 60 south central. Could be 70-ish up toward Skagway. Otherwise, 60s with that push of rain and warmer temperatures taking a look at Thursday morning, lows generally in the 50s, mid-upper 50s across the Panhandle, mid-upper 40s across the Copper River Basin, and upper 40s to near 50 along the Kenai. Temperatures Thursday afternoon, if we can get a few breaks in the clouds, get back up into the 60s, even flirting with 70, say at Gulkana or Glen Allen, and temperatures across the southern Panhandle could get up near 70, but at least mid-upper 60s far southern Panhandle around Metlakatla. And then across the interior, temperatures generally 40s to near 50, Yukon and Tanana valleys. Coolest readings, mid-upper 30s along the Arctic coast, some upper 30s near 40, Point Hope down to Wales and Teller. And then temperatures, not especially warm, but 60s, maybe a isolated 70-plus degree reading around Fort Yukon. And then low temperatures, again, similarly in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees, generally in the 40s, pretty common. And then still, for Thursday afternoon, temperatures could be back up around or just above 70, Eagle, Fort Yukon, 67 there at Fairbanks, westward Tanana. This area, though, will see the most significant warming over the course of the weekend, readings getting back up in the 70s, and as I said, 80-degree reading by Sunday or certainly Monday, pretty likely there. East central Yukon Flats area, coolest temperatures remain along the western Seward coastline along the Arctic coast, but even a downslope of 65 maybe there around Cape Lisburne. So it's kind of interesting, or I should say Point Lay. It's kind of interesting, you know, you get that southeasterly downslope off of the north slope, and it can actually bring some fairly warm temperatures along the Arctic coastline. For the southwest interior, temperatures in the 40s for lows and down through the Aleutians. Daytime highs, lower mid-50s from the eastern Aleutians up along the Alaska Peninsula. Struggling maybe 60-ish there around McGrath because we still have some lingering cloud cover, but try to be breaking up. 40s for lows Thursday morning. And then for Thursday afternoon, we're anticipating maybe 67 at McGrath, around or just above 60 Bethel on up toward Anvik and Antioch. And then going out here, I want to show two maps. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, July 22nd through the 26th, has this bullseye of much warmer temperatures setting up over, that's next week, over the Yukon Valley, Tanana Valley interior. As a result of that high pressure, maybe cooler than normal here in the Panhandle, as well as out along the Aleutians, but the central, east central interior, some of the warmest temperatures we've seen in a while. Get out, enjoy it, because that may be the last gasp of the really warm, dry weather there for the interior for the summer, because come July 24th through the 30th, a cooling trend, still below normal, Panhandle near normal, but not as warm here to round out the month. And precipitation-wise, still there could be some above normal precipitation, some scattered showers and thunderstorms with that kind of heating along the Alcan border. And generally, still above normal precipitation down through the Panhandle. And as we extend that out to the rest of the end of the month, July 24th through the 30th, precipitation averaging slightly above normal here across southwest mainland into the Panhandle, maybe a little above normal here across the central northeast interior from Fairbanks up toward Arctic Village and along the Arctic coast.